What is up, everybody? It is Sunday. It is 8 p.m. on a Sunday, and we're back
Sunday.
live,
Sorry, I had to.
unscripted.
I see you got a mic.
So, yeah, I've always had a mic.
I just never noticed it until now.
Yeah, because it's normally off screen. James has one
Right.
too.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
last
knew
week,
that. I don't have earbuds. We didn't introduce ourselves. Man, you're off your game.
we got a lot to cover today. I mean, crop circles are going to take a long time.
Oh,
So,
crap.
okay, fine. I'm the Doc.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. I'm the DOC. You got the King, James,
There,
over
that's
there.
that's the Doc. That's the King James and the Wild Man, Wild Bill, right here. Okay, introductions aside, let's go.
All right. So last week we put it to a vote. We asked you, the viewing audience, on multiple platforms on what we wanted to have done. The choices were crop circles, Beast of Bray Road, and the Mothman prophecies.
I
Now,
demand a recount.
let me give you the official tally here.
Official. I think you stuffed the votes.
All right, Beast of Bray Road, between all four different channels, platforms, that had 15 votes. Between all four of the social media outlets, crop circles got 22 votes.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, Bill, you're going to be talking about crop circles another day
Oh, how
because
about never?
Mothman got 48 votes. So we're going to save that
Ah!
crop circle back pocket. Okay, we're going to put that on the back burner because actions have
That could be,
consequences.
you know what? That one can't be discussed and wrapped up in 5 minutes. Seriously.
Oh no! You'd have to fill the whole thing. So instead of crop circles,
Not it.
Oh,
instead of crop circles tonight,
Mhm.
it's
we're
We're
Mothman.
talking
doing
about the
Mothman.
Mothman. Point
Great. This is your wheelhouse anyway.
It is my
Okay.
wheelhouse. All
Yes.
right. So now we're gonna have to go back. We're gonna have to go back in time. November 15th, 1966. It's a cold November evening. You've got two couples that go up to the it's called an area called the TNT area. It used to be an army munitions factory. So it's
Where's
been
this
What
at?
were they going to do up there?
well, this is over in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. So these two couples get in their black '57 Chevy. They're
Hmm.
going to go up to the hangout place, the TNT
Hmm.
area.
Yeah.
Okay, it's evening time.
Do some
They're going to go
exploring, I'm
up
sure.
as they're up there. Okay, so they go up to the North Power Plant and they're going to just chill and hang out, listen to music, you know,
Oh, some will hang out.
things that couples do.
Come on, Bill.
I'm
I,
sorry.
I will turn this into crop circles in a heartbeat. We will alternate right back to crop circles. All right.
But Mothman got the vote. All right.
No,
So,
but actions and consequences.
all right. So two couples go up to this. Now it's an abandoned facility. Like
Yes.
it's a retired facility, retired military base, armory,
It
or
is an
whatever.
it is it is an abandoned munitions factory. They call
Oh,
it the
okay.
TNT area. They used to make dynamite, all the stuff. They used to put it in these big igloos for storage.
All of a
Okay.
sudden, I want to sing some
So what
ACDC.
people that we have,
Uh huh.
all right.
Is my signal bad, or do you keep winking out?
Stay on topic.
No, I mean, like,
Yeah.
seriously,
It's your
is it
signal.
my
Yours sound a
signal?
little bit better.
Ready?
Okay, all right. Because it looks like to me on my end, you're winking out there. But
Yeah,
all
he
right,
is.
so it's not just me.
I'm winking out.
Yes. You're blipping in and out.
Yeah,
I don't know what this
I
is.
wouldn't lie to you.
We'll go with it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Blame it on the Mothman.
our our researcher said, yeah, you keep blipping in and out.
Well, I don't know what else to do about that one. So
I mean, I don't know either. I was just
we'll just roll with
okay.
we'll roll with it. And what it is what it is.
Man,
And
it's
then we
gonna
just
be another tough one. You did
it's
this
going to
on
be an
purpose.
interesting one. Anyway, so I blame Bill.
Of course you do.
Anywho's, so we have Linda Scarberry and Robert Scarberry. Okay, we got the Scarberry married couple. And then we have
Okay.
Steve Mallet and Mary Mallet. So we got two married couples. They're young married couples who go up to the TNT area. They see two large red eyes reflected from the car headlights.
Okay.
Okay. Steve noticed it first and pointed it out to the group, and that was when they said to have noticed that the glowing red eyes belonged to a strange creature. They claim to have seen a gray man-like figure with wings go around the corner at the old power plant. They said that the creature didn't run but wobbled like it couldn't keep its balance. Linda described the creature as having circular, fiery red eyes and a body like a man but with wings. They said the creature was about 6 to 7 feet tall with wings folded against its back. She said you could see muscles in its legs. Quote, quote. Our researcher says the reason why we're having internet problems is because the crop circles are pissed off that they were not included.
Wow. Yeah. Our researcher also says that it's just like a strobe
All right.
light.
So
It's
then,
adding to the rave.
We got the Mallet.
It is like a strobe light.
Well, I don't know what else to do to fix this unless I just get out and then restart everything.
Eh.
'Cause, yeah, I am seeing that I've got a little lag on my end.
Well, we can do is what Steve Winwood says and just roll with it, maybe. Or I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, you're the boss. This is your outfit. You just like I don't know, do what you do.
Let's just run with it.
Give it the best we got.
Right, controlled chaos.
I mean, how worse off did we get?
Well, probably shouldn't put that theory to the test. Just saying.
It's already at the test.
Yeah. Not my fault. I didn't do it. Okay, so two married couples go into this abandoned munitions factory. They see this creature, muscular legs, 7 feet tall, man-like body, big glowing red eyes, and big ass wings.
Yo, looks like we lost the boss man.
Okay,
Yeah.
well I recapped.
So yeah, the wingspan about 8 feet.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Then they went into what is it, Point Pleasant?
I think that's what he said.
Yeah. See, we need to get a little more info on this, so we know if we lose him. But so they go in. Let's see. The one couple was driving their vehicle, and the creature was giving them chase.
So the creature actually chased them off.
Was chasing them. Yeah, they couldn't outrun the creature. So they lost it going into city limits, is my understanding from what I read. And then they went to the police and kind of, told the
They
police that,
reported it, and they were
yeah,
probably thought the police probably thought they were a bunch of kooks.
yeah, probably. But then it's like after that, there started to be more reports days after of more sightings in the area. As far as I can recall on anything. But Darren's the expert on this. We have seen.
Yeah, this is one of those cryptids that it's like it's his. That's one like this is his passion, right? This is his.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like his favorite cryptid. I think the beast chased them into town and kept up with speeds almost up to 100 miles per hour.
100. Okay, I thought I saw videos of
Can
75, but hey, I could be wrong.
I was gonna say, what was the car? A 57. What did you say it was?
I didn't hear
It
what
was
you
a.
said.
I heard a black 57 something. Can those things get up to 100 miles an hour? I mean, I suppose they could if they soup up those engines.
Right, but just the sound of the Mothman, the theory on it reminds me of
Right.
the movie Jeepers Creepers.
Exactly. And then raced off into a field right when they got into town.
It's really
Um, don't know how fast. Don't know how they could drive that fast, but that's exactly what they said, though. All right. Yeah, because well, I never thought of that before. That and I've seen Jeepers Creepers. Um, and that creature that's in that movie, it is kind of
it,
it is a bit reminiscent of the Mothman. It's almost like it's a Mothman retelling. That's interesting. Didn't I never made that connection before.
yeah.
Oh,
Try
look,
this.
the Doc Man is back.
Let's try this out and see if it'll
Well,
work.
Oh,
we're trying to fill in here.
we already wrapped up the mystery.
Yeah, it's Jeepers
Um,
Creepers.
it's Jeepers
It ain't
Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers. It has nothing to do with Jeepers Creepers.
Well,
Yeah.
that creature is kind of reminiscent of the Mothman. Jeepers Creepers.
No,
Okay.
Mothman does not kill people. Jeepers Creepers kills people.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe the Mothman has modified his modus operandi.
All right, let's try this again. Hopefully everything works. I rerouted everything, and let's try it again.
Yeah.
Take two.
Yeah,
All right.
you're not glitching, so it must be working.
Right.
Hopefully it works. All right. Anyway, so then.
Yep, you're much less blippy. That's what our researcher said.
Yeah,
I'm just
just
repeating what our researcher said.
had to reboot some stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Back
So
to
we're
you,
gonna go
boss.
backtrack. I don't know what you guys covered. We'll try this
We
again.
basically recapped that they saw this creature. Creature took flight, gave chase. They raced like a bat out of hell, as it were, to get into town. And as they got into town, they reported they were up to speeds of upwards to 100 miles an hour. That's what they said. And that as they got into town, it veered off and flew off toward a field. And
Okay, but you missed a
that was it.
minor, well, not really a minor, but a major little detail here that's kind of really cool.
Well, all I'm
They could
going by is
they
what the
could hear the
researcher fed us in the chat there. So
right. They said that they
we're
could hear the wings flapping against the car, the top of the car, and it left scratch marks on Roger's '57 Chevy, which does have a top speed of over 100 miles an hour.
yeah, okay. So it's a 57 what? 57 Chevy.
57 Chevy. It's just what it says.
Okay. Okay.
And Our researcher says to quit blaming her.
I don't blame it.
Um, no, she said, "Oh, sure, blame me. Never doubt Google."
I
All
doubt
right.
you will.
Now,
Anyway,
What if
see,
I
here's
prefer
here's
Bing?
where this gets.
okay, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
God, I'm going to mute you.
What?
Anyways, so as they get into town, they go to the police station, and there was a whole thing about they scared they're going to get laughed at, so they didn't go because they're like, well, no one's going to believe us. They did happen to pass a dead dog, and as they were driving back, they couldn't see the dog anymore. It had disappeared. So the body of the dog was there when they were coming through, and then it was gone when they were coming back.
So they're afraid that they were going to be laughed at and not believed in 1966.
Right.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm laughing, and it's 2024. I don't believe you either. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Right. Now, see, Bill, here's where you're going to eat every single word that you just said.
I was getting it out of my system. Okay,
All
continue.
right. You got it out of your system.
Uh-huh.
For the next several years.
Mhm.
Okay. The Mothman was sighted by multiple people,
Mm-hmm.
police, sheriff,
Mhm.
everyday normal people had seen this thing all over town. Hundreds of
Okay.
sightings.
But not
Okay.
just in Point Pleasant, though.
It was
Right?
just, this was everything in 66 to 67 was in Point Pleasant.
Okay.
Okay. Um. Okay. Well, I have some thoughts on that, but I'll reserve until the end. So continue.
Reserve it to the ends. All right. So local news started printing this in middle of November. A couple see man-sized bird creature something. It goes on. There's more people, more reports coming in. Eventually, this grabs the attention of author John Keel, a Fortean, who comes in and he actually ends up investigating this place for a while and writes the book, The Mothman Prophecies, which became a movie in 2003.
Right.
So you've had all these sightings from November 1966 to December 1967.
So essentially, a solid
So you've had
13 months. Okay. Yeah.
solid
Yeah.
13
Yeah.
months every single day. A lot of people have seen this thing.
So there's daily occurrences of sightings.
There were,
Like every
yes,
like every day there's a sighting.
yes, it was very a daily thing that people were seeing this thing in the evenings, hanging around their backyards, hanging around somewhere else. Now, I know you want to probably throw in, oh, well, they're probably about the bar, they're coming home. These are little old ladies sitting at home on a Friday night. They go to let the dog out and they look out back and there's this thing sitting in their backyard.
Okay.
All right. So this thing's been seen all over the place. I told you there was a lot of information, so I'm kind of cutting a little bit of it short on Point Pleasant because of the fact
Or we
that,
can make this, or we can make this a two-parter.
well, there's a lot of stuff to go over.
Well,
There's
that's
a
what I'm
lot of
saying.
stuff.
Is like,
I mean,
I
it
mean, if you
lasts.
want to do it justice, I mean, if you want to do it justice, then like if it has to be a multiple episode event for this topic, then I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there when we get there. We're still talking
Okay.
about Point Pleasant. We're still
Okay.
1966, moving on to 1967.
Okay.
All right, so it's seen all over the place, multiple individuals rehashing the same crap here.
Uh-huh.
So I got to put up James's information on the screen.
Yeah.
So we've got descriptions that everybody gives out, and it's all very across the board descriptions. 6 to 7 feet tall, red eyes, dark color, large wings, a 10-foot wingspan, human-like, so it's got like human-like legs, and it's very fast. Now this goes on for, like I said, 13 months. It's a daily occurrence. Everybody's seeing it. You've got a person and I gotta figure out find that page right now with their name. One of the local newspaper people, maybe the research personnel, could
Knock that down.
look that up real quick because there's a lot of notes here.
See, this is where it'd be good to share your book.
What's the question?
Question is the local newspaper personnel. Because we have John Keel. John Keel comes into town. He's a writer. He's looking into UFOs and stuff. Why can't I find this person's name? God, this show
A local,
sucks.
like a local newspaper reporter.
Yes. Mary Hire. I'm saying it wrong, but so Mary starts working with John Keel with all these investigations. God, I think I'm saying
Okay.
it right. I'm saying it right.
Hire,
So
here, hair. How's it spelled?
that I got to look up.
Dun-dun, dun-dun,
Somebody
dun-dun,
talk some.
dun-dun,
We're wasting their time.
dun-dun, 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 dun-dun,
I
dun-dun,
mean, if
dun-dun.
this was seen every day, would
Every day. Right.
I
Every
mean,
day.
did they go and report this? I mean, was
They
it
were
like
reporting it to all the
the police? And I mean, you would think for 13 months solid of sightings daily, there would be massive files and reports on this.
well, the thing is
Right.
there are massive files on this. There really are. There's if you go into Point Pleasant, West Virginia, they have all the files in the museum. So these were actual accredited investigations by the police. Um, I'm not finding this name. I should know this name. Everybody, I'm sorry. We had technical difficulties. That put me off my game a little bit.
Researchers not finding anything about a Mary either.
Are we even sure it was a female?
It was a female, yes.
Uh-huh. A, a
The question is the person who worked with Keel. Yes, that's the question. The question is who was the local reporter that was working with Keel.
Sharon Hill, maybe?
No.
No? No. Boy. Huh. Yep. No clue.
Drawing a blank. This show sucks. All right, Bill. Crop circles, go.
No, no. We were told to move on, and that our researcher will find it. So the question's being researched. So okay, Mary Hire, Hyre, correct?
So it was Mary Hire. Yes.
Mary Hire.
She was the
Okay.
local newspaper reporter and pretty much ran the local paper. She was the one that was also reporting on it daily and going to the cops, getting the police, working with John Keel. Technically speaking, we can actually tie this in with UFOs because as John Keel is there looking for the Mothman, seeing the Mothman, he's also seeing a lot of UFOs. Apparently, there was some Bigfoot sightings were up high. They went up on a bluff, John and Mary, and they were watching just these line of UFOs come around. Now this goes on. It ends suddenly with a major disaster.
That's with the bridge collapse.
The Silver Point, Silver Bridge
Silver
at Point
Bridge.
Pleasant.
Yeah.
That happened December 1967. It ended up killing 46 people, and the Mothman sightings abruptly stopped after the tragedy, leading people to believe that his arrival was an omen of things to come. Some people say that they saw the Mothman over the bridge, and after they looked at the bridge debris, it was the 13th eye bolt that had busted. So they like to say that was part of the spookiness, that it was the 13th eye bolt. Bill, if you want to read that, if you can read that, I don't know.
So, apparently, Mary Hyre had died very abruptly at the age of 55. She helped his investigation and kept him updated through correspondence. She claimed to have seen the weird lights in the sky on several occasions. Where am I at?
And even claimed to have been visited by mysterious men in black. Mary was often
several occasions, and even claimed to have been, yes. Yeah. So apparently she was visited by MIBs. Mary was often relentless in her endeavor to report the strange phenomena going on in Point Pleasant. Some believed this led to the men in black paying regular scheduled visits to her office in attempts to putting a stop to her releasing newspaper reports. Her most notorious and well-known stories were one in which she regretted ever having to write. These were the numerous reports that she reported on. She released on the collapse of the Point Pleasant Silver Bridge, which killed 46 people on a late December evening in 1967.
Yeah. Wow.
So she's doing daily reports on this, whatever it is, and sorry, reverse puberty happening there. So she does daily reports on the sightings of this whatever this creature is, and supposedly she gets regular. She was getting regular visits of the MIBs for her trouble. She had a 4-week-long illness, and Keel actually dedicated his book to her when it was published 5 years later. So that's kind of suspicious that she dies abruptly of an unknown illness that only lasted 4 weeks.
Let's talk about the bridge.
Okay.
And then we can get into Chicago and the Mothman curse. That's why I said we got a lot of stuff to cover. We're at the 30-minute mark. We're okay. Buildings have not exploded on us yet. There's no one at my door, so apparently whatever we've done to appease the crop circle has worked. Anyways.
Right. Chicago? You were talking Chicago?
Well, now we're
what about Chi-Town?
Bridge collapses. Well, okay, bridge collapses.
Bridge collapses. Something about the 13th bolt.
The 13th eye bolt in the bridge is the one that had failed.
And
Um,
it because it failed, the whole bridge collapsed.
the whole bridge collapsed.
Okay,
46
46
people
people
were
dead.
46 people dead. Now
Okay,
we'll wrap up Point Pleasant in a nice little bow because we're going to move moving on from Point Pleasant. It's a
Okay.
town I really want to visit. They've got a nice little museum. They have a Mothman festival every year. It's actually, I think, next weekend, I believe it is. Um, they have a giant statue in the town's, well, it's not really the town square, but it's over by the base of the Silver Bridge. They've got a nice little monument for everybody. You could take bus rides out to the TNT area. So they'll actually go show you the power plant where it was seen, the igloos, all that good, wonderful, happy stuff. Um, it's become a very big boom to the town. Um, you can stay in one of the hotels that is very classic and very old and apparently is haunted. So that's what we should do one of these days. Then we'll
Okay.
go. So now we've moved
so
away from Point Pleasant.
so like Roswell, Point Pleasant is just capitalizing on this series of events, and they've made a tourist boom out of it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, good on them.
Well, it's a little town and on the Ohio River in West Virginia, which West Virginia actually has a ton of cryptid sightings. The Flatwoods Monster.
I drove through West Virginia. I drove through West Virginia last year.
I know.
Point Pleasant. Did I drive through there?
I don't know. There's the Grafton Monster. There's the Flatwoods Monster. There's the Mothman. Great. Guess what I just did, everybody? We're just going to extend out and do a West Virginia series
No.
Yeah.
after Bill's Crop
Bam.
Circle special.
We're not doing crop circles.
No, no, no,
We're
no,
not
no,
doing
no.
crop circles.
We're still doing crop circles, but then we're going to do
No,
cryptids of West Virginia.
we
Woo!
can't. I would be more interested in cryptids of West Virginia than crop circles. It was a hoax. Hoax. I'm telling you, it was a hoax. Like I can sum it up in 5 minutes. Hoax. Move along.
Moving on. So then,
Mothman.
we got the Mothman Curse. So the movie comes out in 2000. The movie comes out in 2003. The book's published back in the 60s, maybe 70s. Take Me Home, Country Roads. Yes, I think us and our research investigator need to go and check this out for ourselves. But
Hey,
we're gonna move
West
on.
Virginia. West Virginia is some beautiful country. I'll tell you that right now. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, well, we're not going for anything but Mothman.
There isn't really much there of. I mean, it's. I'm just saying that it's beautiful country. You'll like it. You'll like the scenery. People are
And
very friendly there too.
ironically, before we move on from West Virginia,
Uh-huh.
uh, Bill and I like to play a little game called Fallout 76, which takes place in West
In West
Virginia.
Virginia, yeah,
So you get to
yeah.
meet all the little cryptids and everything there. Now then, we go to
Yep.
2003, the movie.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Mothman.
Last week when we were playing that big flying thing, was that supposed to be a Mothman?
No,
That thing that flew over our heads, and you guys told me not to shoot at it.
that's not the Mothman.
Okay.
All right. Screw the game right now.
Moving on. So, movie gets made in 2003,
Yes.
and it becomes a cult classic when it comes to DVD. It is not your typical gory horror movie. It is psychological. It messes with your head.
It's a thriller.
It's kind of a thriller, but it's more psychological horror, is what it's called. Now,
Okay.
after the movie comes out, the Mothman curse really kind of kicks in.
Well, like it lay dormant until the movie comes out, and then the movie just kind of like kickstarted
Well,
it back up again.
Mary Hyre dies suddenly and quickly and mysteriously. A lot of other people who were involved in the case with John Kill die suddenly, quickly, mysteriously. John Kill gets to a certain point. It's about 5 years before he dies. He's been on the circuit. He's been talking to everybody about the Mothman. Suddenly he goes quiet, wants nothing to do with it, has dropped everything. He's like, I don't want to talk
Wait,
about it.
wait. When
What?
did Mary Hyre die? Because I was getting the impression that she died back in the '60s. Are you saying
She's
she
one.
died?
She
She died
started.
after the movie?
No, she
I'm
died back in the
confused.
60s.
Okay,
The movie came out in 2003.
1970. Okay, okay.
She died in 70.
Uh-huh.
Everybody that was on the ground when it was happening started to die off quickly and suddenly and mysteriously.
And
Okay,
they're
we
all
As a
get
saying
up.
result of the movie?
they're all saying that this is from the curse.
They're saying it's the curse that people who have been involved in it start dying. Once we get to
Okay.
the movie comes out. Two of the stuntmen die quickly, suddenly, mysteriously. The
Oh,
director,
okay.
the director, his wife and his child die within like a week of each other, quickly, suddenly, mysteriously. A lot of other people who are involved in the movie suddenly start having the same issue. Then we get to John Keel, who says, the last couple years of his life, he's done. He just doesn't want anything to do with the movie, Mothman, his books, nothing.
Uh,
He just says, you know
our
what,
our
guys,
our
I'm done.
our researcher is saying, "Bye, guys. Nice knowing you."
You're safe.
Yeah, I'm
We've
safe.
we've I don't know. Look around. Is there any black cars?
I'd have to go upstairs to find out. I don't think so.
Actually, there is one parked right there in front of me here.
See you
Has it
later.
been
Hmm.
looking at you the entire time?
What? No, the car's been there the
Has
whole
it been
time.
looking?
Yeah.
Anywho's,
I don't.
back at it. So then we got a bunch of people that die. It's Mothman curse. So we
Okay.
get up to 2021. Okay. Up to this point, there's been random little sightings of the Mothman around. It's normally where there's going to be an accident or a big disaster. It was supposedly seen around Chernobyl. It's been seen a lot of different places. I happen to have seen it in Vegas.
No.
And I saw it in Vegas. And it was across from the MGM Grand. We'll leave it at that. You guys can
And
decide
when
what
was this?
Yeah.
When was this?
this was in 2007.
Is this when you met that vampire?
No, that was a lot earlier.
Okay.
Bringing up more topics we don't need to be discussing.
Well, you're the one who
Talking about,
said she was a vampire, not me.
I'm
I was
talking
just
about.
wondering if it was during that same trip you saw the
So,
Mothman. See, I'm keeping it relevant.
you sure it wasn't some
No,
guy in a costume in Vegas?
it's a whole different story, James. This is a family friendly show, kind of, sort of, to a point.
I'm getting it. I'll leave it alone.
There was an exchange of fundage to investigate the vampire, but that's a whole nother story. Family show. Back at it. So then we got to go. Bill's dead. Bill's dying.
I'm still on it about the
Chicago.
look. He asked if you were sure if you weren't sure that Mothman was just some dude in a costume, and you're talking about fundage exchange with a vampire.
Yes.
Okay, let's just go ahead and move on. I
Moving
left
on.
it.
I'm not so sure that one begat the other, but okay.
Anyways.
Okay. And
So,
anyhow,
so then.
okay. So
No,
I
Bill.
guess
No, Bill.
my
Let him
Okay,
go.
you want to know my Mothman story? Is I had gone to a concert.
okay.
I I'm not talking the vampire. I'm talking Mothman. Two
Okay,
separate different,
yeah.
two separate deals.
That's what I was curious. I was curious if it was during the same time period or if it was a different time period. That so you answered the
4 years
question. Okay,
apart.
we can. Okay,
4 years
great.
apart.
Okay.
I had gone down to
Yeah, we're
see
good.
Alice Cooper. I was walking back to my hotel,
Mm-hmm.
3 o'clock in the morning. I saw this thing with red eyes sitting behind a billboard, and it was peeking around looking at me. I stopped. I watched it. It took off and went straight up. Wings, the whole nine, the whole thing.
Why did it chase you?
It didn't chase me. It just saw
That
me. I
well,
looked
no,
at it.
that
It took off.
Well,
right. That's what I'm wondering is because all the other reports we have, like especially that first one, is that it gave chase. It chased
yeah.
them off. So
Not all the
so
time
if you saw it and it saw you and it knows that you saw it, why didn't it chase you?
because it doesn't always chase.
Why did it chase them?
Because they were up probably somewhere where they weren't supposed to be. I don't know. I'll ask him next time I see him. Hey, buddy, remember back
Yeah,
in
would you? Yeah,
66,
would you? Because inquiring minds want to know. I want to know.
why didn't it
Yeah.
chase me? Probably because we're in Vegas. There's a lot of people. You got to remember, and this is my own opinion here. People, normal, everyday people, are kind of stupid. If you ever go to Vegas and you don't be
Well, I've been
enamored
there.
by the pretty buildings, you can walk through seas of people and nobody will see you because everybody's looking up, everyone's looking around. But 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not looking at everything. I'm not looking at the buildings. I'm not looking at everything. So what he's probably doing is just hiding behind something, and then I'm
Well,
just walking
our
through, and
re- our researcher says that it's really hot in Vegas. Not even Mothman wants to run in that heat. You're right.
well, he didn't run. He
Mothman would
flew.
fly. Mothman would fly, and as he's flying through the air, he's getting cooled off. So, like, that's not a problem for him.
Okay.
And what is north of Vegas? Area 51.
Yeah.
Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not.
I think not.
Okay. So we got to
How do
move
we
along.
know that? Okay, how do we know that it's not some experimental exosuit and some dude was just taking it for a spin and seeing what taking it through its paces and how do we know it's not how do we know it's not an exosuit?
Because any exosuit we have now currently is loud. These people are all the reports, every single report, and I'll even report it right now. When it took off and goes straight up, there's no sound.
No swoosh.
No swoosh, just whoop, gone.
So it made a whoop and it was gone.
It didn't even make a
No,
whoop.
I'm adding the whoop as an effect.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't even a little flutter of bat wings. It just whoop, gone.
The
God
biggest
willing.
thing that the biggest thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around is, okay, I know that's what I was going to save it to the end, but I have to ask the question, right? Um, are we sure there was nothing in the water that could have caused mass hysteria in Point Pleasant? Is there something that could have
But if you
caused
have the
a mass hysteria event in Point Pleasant, and that's why these people were seeing what they were seeing for a solid year?
but then if it's a mass hallucination, why in one city, another city, a Russian city, Chicago has been blitzkrieged by Mothman sightings since 2022. Like they're seeing it every single night. The reports are still pouring in that everybody's seeing it. So you would have to be a mass hallucination, you would have to have that strain of bacteria in every single water supply all around the world. It's been seen in Chile, Mexico.
This is going to sound really bad, but I mean, could it just be that they're, it's attracted to Democrats?
Oh, let's not go political.
I mean, all joking aside, so was there something up at that the
Ordinance.
old TNT factory
Ordinance.
here in Point Pleasant? Was there some? Sorry, there goes an ambulance. Um, was there something up there of a chemical nature, like chemical weapons, chemical byproducts? Like Hanover, for instance, the leftover stuff from building the A bomb, all that nuclear waste and stuff is over in Hanover. Is it possible that uh, Point Pleasant was a depot for such material? And the reason why I'm asking that is you just hit on the fact that this creature was seen in Chernobyl. Chernobyl happened on my birthday in 1986. It was a nuclear meltdown in
Reactor.
their yeah, in a power plant, much like how we had Trojan. It was something similar there. So, is it possible that this thing is attracted to nuclear material? But if that's
There,
the
wa-
case, then
there, there
why
wasn't
would it
there
be in
wasn't
Vegas?
there wasn't nuclear material at Point Pleasant. It was a TNT weapons factory.
But was
Okay,
there reports that some elements were made at that facility for the A bomb?
that's what I'm curious about. Is it attracted to something that was
Because
made there?
I mean, I just
What-
saw a little video a little while ago, and they were mentioning that in the little video that some material was made at that ordnance facility for the atomic bomb.
Mm.
Yes, but I mean, it's not like a nuclear fallout, a nuclear radiation. Um,
No, I'm just
I mean,
no. I mean, I think I misspoke when I said that. I think I'm just curious if it's attracted to a certain element that was used in the creation of the atom bomb. So, like,
what it seems to be
it,
happening is it shows up wherever there's a natural disaster, a catastrophe, a man-made catastrophe. It's not just nuclear material; it's showing up in any
okay,
large accident that happens afterwards. Again, this has happened in Japan. They've seen it in Japan. They've seen it in. I saw it in
that
Vegas.
Fukushima.
No, we're talking currently, just before the tsunami, the last tsunami they had.
Wasn't that the Fukushima thing?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
there was one after Fukushima.
Oh, okay.
But
So,
it
is
seems to
it
be
like? Are we talking like? I mean, like, okay, I'm delving into like Hollywood here. Are we delving into something like um, the Titans or whatever it is they called the big creatures like Godzilla and King Kong and all this? Is this like a scaled down version of something like that? I mean, is that what we're looking at here?
To
what we're
try to
looking at.
balance the powers that be. I can see where
What's that, James?
it's kind of like you balance of power, trying to level it. I see where you're going with this, Bill.
There are several different theories to it. John Keel actually had a theory about it that it may be that these are extraterrestrial creatures that are here to basically because of the fact that they see things happening further down the road than we are aware, that they're trying to tell us to knock it off. Hey, there's going to be an accident. You might want to stop. You might want to get out of there. But because I mean, there's vocal recordings, there's other things where they're messing with phone lines. It was in the movie a little bit about that one, where the phone's going to ring, you're going to get like a weird message. Now, ironically, when I had a landline and I had my old apartment, I did have a few phone calls like that where the number would come up 000 000 000. And then what it was screeching, computer noises, and a weird breathing sound on the other end. But it was all zeros on the caller ID. And it has even happened to another friend of ours who was getting those phone calls about the same time.
So, okay, if there if there's a prevailing theory that they're trying to warn us, then the big issue is like there's a language barrier, right? They're not able actually to get the message across, and then the catastrophic event happens, and then it's like, damn, we didn't avert this again. And so what, it just keeps coming back again and again and again in the hopes that what the next time that the message does get sent across.
That seems to be the prevailing theory. And I guess this is actually going to have to turn into a two-parter because we still got to talk about Ingrid Cold, who is another being within that whole Mothman flap. And the MIB was there. So, yeah, that's good. Okay, we're going into a two-parter for this one, I guess. Mothman Part 1, Mothman Part 2, and then the last 5 minutes of that, Bill, will be your crop circles.
Okay, the two really aren't compatible. Just saying. I think we should just forget about crop circles. All right. Okay. I'm shenanigans, man. My shenanigans are cheeky and fun. Okay, so
we'll leave it at Chicago.
Well, I'm trying to read what our researchers are saying, but I can't get my phone to cooperate with me.
Don't worry.
What?
She's just basically saying this isn't stopping my humans from the future theory. I've been on for the past 4 shows.
Oh yeah, that is true. She has been trying to drop major hints that an advanced persons from the future are coming back in time to try to warn us, and we're just too dense to pay attention.
Look, for me, kind of going back to the Mothman curse, so to speak. With all these people all of a sudden dying off. I mean,
when did the curse start?
The curse started after Mary Hyre died.
And she died in 1970.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
so the curse is still ongoing.
The curse is still ongoing for anyone that has been involved in the original case, which those are pretty much, they're all dead by now. There's, I think, a few that are still remaining.
Great, we're all safe then. We're all good.
They don't do any talks. They don't do any talk shows or anything. They kind of keep themselves. Then you've got people from the movie who have been having issues and been in the hospital in and out.
But what if all these people actually had health issues before, and it's just all, now it's just kind of their time to go. I can't believe a curse like that would just, start dropping people like flies.
Right, I'm with you.
I think they all had some sort of a health issue going on, and it finally caught up to them where they bit the dust.
That's more likely.
All right, so part 2, we'll talk about Chicago because that's probably going to be a whole show in itself. Gives us time to put all that information together, and then we can talk about the curse a little bit more, and we can go with that. So, because we're butting up on that hour mark. And Spotify doesn't like us having more than an hour, so
okay.
We're not going to do a poll because we're going to carry it over. So we're going to start doing cryptids of West Virginia for 5
for the next few weeks. Excellent.
All right.
So that'll be it. And then we'll come back around to crop circles and
Bill's 5 minutes of fame.
We're not going to do crop circles. Okay, to the viewing audience, if you want to know about crop circles,
Bill, you got 5 minutes.
If you want to know about crop circles, Google crop circles, go to YouTube, punch in crop circles, and I guarantee you're going to find a video that it's dated of September of 1991, where 2 young lads from Great Britain come forward and say, crop circles were a hoax. This is what we were doing. This is how we did it. There you go. Crop circles are a myth. It's busted. It was a farce. It was a hoax. And uh, so American kids decided that they were going to take that and take that hoax and run with it over here in the United States and say, Levy, it had about a 5 minutes of fame. I think it was like Inside Edition had done a piece on it, and it was like so one of those tabloid style magazine shows did a piece on it, and then like it had a little bit of a following, and then it quickly petered out as soon as like people started storming the internet saying it's fake. We know it's fake because we're the guys that have been doing it. And here you go. Have a nice day. Bye bye. So there you go. Crop circles done in less than 5 minutes.
Oh my god, this is hilarious shit.
Now, see, here's where we're going to have to do a show where we debunk your debunking.
You can try to do that all you want. When people come forward and say, I did this and this is how I did this,
Okay.
Bill doesn't understand is I can mute his mic.
Thank God.
All right, everybody, thank you for a chaotic show. It's a chaotic show. Chaos. This is we're going to let everybody go. Come back next week for part 2. Hopefully, we don't have as many technical issues.
And we'll start off in Chicago.
I could turn his camera off too. But I'll be nice and let him talk for the last minute. So anyway, this is the Doc. I'm signing out.
This is King James on the way out.
Your Highness, and Wild Bill here. Out the door I go. Wait, I'm already outdoors. Whatever. We'll see you all next week.
Next week.
Next week.